This was 6 hours ago. Check out Decoy Voice, Decoy Voice. Hell yeah, Decoy Voice.
Their crime stats say New York City
Another one about New York. Man, New York's going down this shitter quick.
isn't safe, as apparently 16 arrests isn't enough to keep a violent individual incarcerated, where this NYU student recently went viral after being attacked.
As I'm walking with my headphones on listening to music, I feel like something slap me so hard, literally on my ass, so hard. And I was like, oh my god, ow, that hurts so bad. And I was like, oh, I thought it was one of my friends. I just saw this old white guy. Right when I turned around, he grabbed my fucking hair like this and yanked me and threw me to the ground. My headphones went fucking flying, and I was just on the ground, and I saw him just bolt away down Waverly. I never thought this was gonna happen to me, just because I was I've seen the stories and I was oh, that's so scary, but having it actually happen now, it's oh my god, you need to
It's kind of sad that the majority of people that voted this guy in were women. Now, I want to make this clear. The guy just got it voted in 2 weeks ago. But the fact that it's this bad now to where you can't even go from work to home without being assaulted like that, it's only going to get worse for you, ladies. Remember, y'all, the majority of people that voted this guy in were women. So,
be aware.
Keep that in mind.
As she wasn't exaggerating.
I just crossed the street and I'm walking down the right side of Broadway, and then you can see that he literally followed me across the street, and that's him right there, and he literally targets me and approaches me and does this.
Damn.
You can tell literally everyone around is literally in shock. These girls don't know what to do. It's so terrible.
Later discovering he is a serial offender.
Have sent it to NYU security, and they're forwarding it to the police, and it actually is the guy that has been assaulting many girls around campus right now.
As sadly, nothing red pills someone faster than the reality that safety is an illusion, only assumed by the naive, especially when your city for decades has gone out of their way to cater to criminals, leaving our most vulnerable citizens completely defenseless, as even in broad daylight, everybody was dumbfounded on how to defend her. Now, she did mention she takes self-defense.
Now I'm pissed because I've been doing all this boxing. I should have gotten up and chased after him and squared his ass up.
And when someone suggested she learn to fight, she replied with footage of her training. And it's honestly better than nothing.
I'm happy that she's able to afford that. What about the people that are not in college, that are older, that can't afford to do that? I guess they're just gonna die, right?
But again, reality isn't a Marvel movie. It's good to get in shape, but light pad work won't hurt an insane attacker that outweighs you by 90 pounds. And this very scary incident is likely the first time she realized, in a city where criminals no longer fear the law, every day you're in the streets, you're just hoping the predators don't decide it's your turn to be victimized. But it doesn't
I would consider Chad a more mature child, but you're technically still a kid. But the issue isn't with kids that see, they're opposites, because you're the good apple out of the rotten tree. These parents need to get a hold of their damn kids is what the problem is. But for the most part, the entire tree's rotten, and that's the problem.
Be this way with college kids constantly living in fear. But in New York City, vigilantes are seen as toxic masculinity, where even if you beat the charges, the left will still villainize you, and they're going to great lengths to make certain law-abiding citizens are defenseless.
Yeah, most places in New York, it's gun-free. It's almost impossible to own a gun in New York, which obviously the people that do own guns own it illegally and are using it to commit crime, because that's a perfect example of what I was saying.
If you can't defend yourself, and defending the innocent brings you criminal charges, how can anybody get even a semblance of justice? Well, the NYU student, Amelia, made an X account just yesterday, with her only activity being related to the attack, and luckily, her original video went viral, getting 4.3 million views. And almost immediately, the NYPD went out and arrested a suspect.
But what about the people What about the people whose videos don't go viral? In this instance, it turned out okay. Great. But what about the people that don't have that luxury? Where is the law to protect them?
TMZ reporting he had 16 prior arrests, which really makes you wonder, had it not been a model-esque looking co-ed gaining millions of views, would this man have been brought to justice? I'm thinking not.
No.
Or I can't verify if it's him, but back in 2023, a man with the same name in New York City was also convicted of a S crime. And even 10 years before that, a man with that same bizarre name was convicted of a S crime again, both times being registered as an S offender. And I don't know what's worse, if this same guy was arrested and released over 16 times for assaulting innocent women, or the fact that in this city, for almost
I would definitely say Chad's more mature than most.
decade and a half, there were multiple S offenders named James Rizzo, and they still can't stop them, as both scenarios spell out the same sad reality that zero women should feel safe in New York City. And that's by design. Well, remember, just over a year ago, a TikTok trend accidentally connected a girl that got attacked in NYC to other women who had also been randomly attacked in the city, as the algorithm matched up their stories, connecting all the victims.
And a man came up and punched me in the face.
So I just got punched in the face.
I literally just got punched by some man on the sidewalk.
And the worst part about that story is some of the girls found out they were all attacked by the same man.
I remember
But
this.
the other half found out their attackers just matched his description, but were unrelated random attacks. And all of the girls reported difficulty getting the NYPD to follow through on anything. So I genuinely hope that Amelia girl gets justice, and the mass shaming of their local coppers gets them to actually do something. But more importantly, New Yorkers remember these.
The issue is that it's not, because that story went viral and nothing came of it. And look where we are a couple years later. Same problem, different person. They don't care. They just don't.
Incidents the next time they see PD enforcing the law violently, as arresting a criminally insane S offender isn't going to look pretty when they're screaming, crying, and wailing that they don't want to go to jail. But the left has a bad habit of taking the side of anybody opposite the police, no matter the crime. Where recently in NYC, there was a serial spitter.
And
Oh,
a
that's
man spit in my face.
disgusting.
A guy coming towards me fully just spat in my face.
As it's even gained local press coverage.
NYPD have arrested an alleged serial spitter.
And just like Amelia's story in the start, we saw reports of an arrest, but have absolutely zero confidence the judge will actually imprison them for the appropriate amount of time. As what exactly are these coppers doing? Escorting around anti-ICE activists as they tour the city. And when they're not chaperoning them, they're getting bullied by them, non-stop, day or night, by every single progressive movement in the book. And that's what happens when you neuter the police. Activists think they're punishing bad cops, but they just stop doing the job. And this doesn't hurt President Trump, just the innocent kids trying to go to college. As sadly, there is a solution to this. In the equally liberal, crime-ridden DC, Trump's National Guard deployment finally freed the citizens.
For a long time in Washington, D.C., it has been really unsafe. And so because of the National Guard's presence here, a lot of women feel a lot safer taking the metro.
So of course, a solution has to be seen as a bad thing to the left. And at this
right.
point, it really feels like they're destroying the
It's
city.
crazy that these big news outlets will spin it as something bad, but every time you pull up a video of the National Guard being there, it's always something good. Like a video that a random content creator made that actually lives there. It's always something good. Interesting how that happens, isn't it?
Purpose, where everybody collectively knows nobody is safe, but since the TV tells them it isn't an issue, as in fact, violent crime is down, they somehow voted for a mayor that wants to empty out their prisons, because violence isn't real.
Violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here
And if you think crime is bad now, just wait until after that idiot is inaugurated. More cops walk off the job.
It's kind of ironic in a way that the majority of people that voted him in are going to be the primary victims of that inauguration. Who do you think a violent offender is going to go for first, a man or a woman? It's going to go for a woman every time. Easy target.
Get replaced by unarmed social workers to handle the massive amounts of violent criminals they just let out. And the citizens will either have to drop out of college and quit their careers to flee for safety, or be forced to adopt a large dog just so they can feel safe enough to walk. And again, we shouldn't have to live like this. Getting a killer canine isn't what college students should be doing, it's what junkyards in the third world do. But at this point, third world dumpster, New York City, I don't think anybody could tell the difference anymore. So if you appreciate my concise,
Check out Decoy
light order
Voice,
comments-
W Decoy Voice. Hell yeah, Decoy Voice. W Decoy Voice. Hold on, give me a second.